Hello students, today I am going to clear your doubt about solving trigonometric equations. Is trigonometric equations really hard? Solving trigonometric equation really hard? No, it is not at all hard. Now look here, before we start solving trigonometric equations, let me explain it to you where the trigonometric ratios are positive. Okay, so all of them are positive in the first quadrant. Only sine is positive in the second quadrant, tan is positive in the third quadrant, and cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so the quadrants are anti-clockwise 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, according to this, each trigonometric ratio is positive in two quadrants, okay, and negative in the other two quadrants. So, based on that, and also you can remember this sign of trigonometric ratios from the statement all students take coffee. All students take coffee. Okay, so all for all trigonometric ratio, S for sine, T for tan, C for cos. So all A is here, students, S is here for sine, take T tan theta is here, coffee, so C is here. Okay, so all students take coffee. From that sentence, you can remember the sign of the trigonometric ratios. Now, based on that, each trigonometric ratio is positive in two quadrants and negative in the other two quadrants. So, sine theta is positive in first and second quadrant. So, here and here it is positive, and negative in third and fourth quadrant. So, here it is negative, here it is negative. Now, here means what? From 0 to 90 degrees and from 90 degrees to 180 degrees, sine theta is positive. Then from 180 to 270 degrees and from 270 to 360 degrees back at 0, it is negative. Similarly, cos theta, it is positive in first and fourth quadrant. So in the first quadrant it is positive, in the fourth quadrant positive, and it is negative in second and third quadrant. So it is negative in second and third quadrant. Okay. Similarly, tan theta is positive in first and third quadrant. In one straight line it is positive. In the other straight line it is negative. So second and fourth it is negative. This is also symbolic. Why I am using the word straight line? Because it has a period of 180 degrees. So this straight line also tells you where it will be positive another time. So you add 180 in anti-clockwise direction, you get another angle where it will be positive. And if it is negative here, you add 180 degrees into anti-clockwise direction and you will get another quadrant where it will be negative. Now if you have to go back, then you will have to subtract pi or 180 degrees and you will get the other quadrant where it will be negative. So I hope it is clear to you in which two quadrant the trigonometric ratio is positive and in which other two trigonometric ratios it is negative. Okay then. Now, angle in quadrants. So how to measure the angle in different quadrants? If you are in the first quadrant, then always take theta, whatever you get from your GDC, from your calculator. If you are in the second quadrant, if you want your answer to be in the second quadrant, for example, for sine theta to be positive, you want your first answer in the first quadrant and you want your second answer in the second quadrant. So for second quadrant, you have to do 180 minus the first answer, which is theta, or pi minus theta if you are measuring in radians. This is for positive angle. Okay. Now, for tan theta, suppose you have tan theta. So if the positive answer is in the first quadrant, your second positive answer is in the third quadrant because in the straight line. So what you have to do, add 180 to it and you get the angle in the third quadrant where it is required. Similarly, cos theta is positive in the first quadrant and cos theta is positive in the fourth quadrant. But how to get the angle in the fourth quadrant? You have to do 360 minus theta or 2 pi minus theta and you get the angle in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so this is how you have to measure the angle in different quadrants. Okay, now we will see step by step how to solve trigonometric equation in sine theta. So suppose you have an equation sine theta is equal to a, where a is positive and the range of values of theta is from 0 to 360. It means you want positive angle, okay, two positive angle, because we know that each trigonometric ratio is positive in two quadrants. So here it will be positive, here it will be positive. Now your first step is find by GDC sine inverse of whatever is the real number, whatever is the value of sine theta. That will be definitely in the first quadrant, so your answer is correct. Then to get the answer in the second quadrant, now what you have to do? 180 minus theta if you are measuring in degrees. So that will be the answer in the second quadrant. So your answer will be correct here. So you will get two answers which are positive, one in the first quadrant, second in the second quadrant. Okay. Now suppose if your range of values is not 360, suppose it is 720. So two rotations you have. So if you have two rotations, you are going to get four answers. Okay. So how to find those other two answers? To find other two answers, you have to use the third step. Here is the third step. By mistake, I wrote it 2. So here is third step. Now for third step, what you have to do? In your previous answer, in this first answer, add 360. That will be third answer. In your second answer, again add 360. You will get the fourth answer. So like that, you are going to get any number of answers by using step number 3. Okay. Now, example. Let us solve this example. So the example is sine theta is equal to pi half. We know that sine theta is half. Then theta will be sine inverse of half, which is 30 degrees. Even if you don't use a calculator, you know it because it is in the standard angle. Okay, so which is in the first quadrant. Now you want answer in the second quadrant. So and your second value of theta will be 180 minus 30 degrees. As I told you, you want it in the second quadrant. So 180 minus 30 will be 150 degrees. So which is in the second quadrant. Like this, you got two answers between 0 and 360. Okay. So this is all you have to solve. Is it difficult? Really? No, it is not difficult. Okay then. Let us see if sine theta is given as negative. Okay. So if the value of sine theta is negative and you need angle between 0 and 360, okay, so we know that sine theta is negative in the third and the fourth quadrant. Okay, third quadrant it is negative, fourth quadrant it is negative. Now when you find sine inverse of A, your answer is going to be negative, which is in the fourth quadrant. The answer is not wrong, but it is not acceptable because the range of values is positive, 0 to 360. So same answer you have to write in positive direction. Actually you got the answer in clockwise direction, which is negative direction. So you have to find answer all the way in this direction. To get the answer in that direction in the fourth quadrant, what you have to do? So as I told you, 360 minus theta gives you answer in the fourth quadrant. Okay. So that way, by step number 3, you are going to get the answer in the fourth quadrant by doing 360 minus your first answer. Don't use double negative sign, but use only one time negative sign. Okay. Then your second answer, or actually your first answer, should be in the third quadrant. How to get the answer in the third quadrant? I told you in sine theta, second step is 180 minus theta. Why we use 180 minus theta? So because in trigonometry you have seen that sine theta is same as sine of 180 minus theta. Okay. Because of this property we use 180 minus theta. Now your first answer was negative. If you write 180 minus theta, so it means double minus sign you have to use. So 180 minus of minus theta, which will be plus theta, and that answer is going to be in the third quadrant. So that answer will be correct. And second answer I already told you, you write 360 minus theta. Again, I will tell you why 360 minus theta. Actual method is minus theta plus 360, because the period of sine theta is 360 degrees. So in any answer you can add 360, you can subtract 360. So actually from negative angle we are subtracting 360, like that you get this answer. Okay. Now if your range of values allows you more answers like 0 to 720, so you are going to get 4 answers. Now the other 2 answers, how you are going to get? So in the third answer, add 360, you will get third answer. In the fourth answer, add again 360, you are going to get the fourth answer. Like this, your 4 answers will be completed. So is it difficult? No, of course it is not difficult. Let us solve one question with negative sign. Okay. So our first step is we find theta is equal to sine inverse minus half, 0.5 or minus half. It is going to give you negative 30 degrees, which is in the fourth quadrant. The answer is not wrong, but your range of values doesn't allow you to write negative answer. Okay, anyway, your second step is your second value of theta will be 180 minus the first answer. So minus of minus 30 degrees, because first answer is already negative. Okay. So the answer will be 210 degrees, which is in the third quadrant. So this answer is correct. Now your third step is you will find theta as 360 minus the first answer. Now this time we will write only one negative sign. Actually in the negative answer we are adding 360 degrees. So therefore your answer will be 360 minus 30, which will be 330 degrees, and this is in the fourth quadrant, so your answer is correct. So like that you got 2 answers, 210 degrees and 330 degrees. In the same way, if your interval or your range of values allows you more answers like 0 to 720, you will need 2 more answers. So in each of your answer, previous answer, add 360. So in this you will add 360, you will get the next answer. In this you will add 360, you will get the next answer. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. Now, how to solve cos theta, equation in cos theta. There are again 3 steps, but the fourth step is for extra values of theta. Anyway, those 3 steps, how are those 3 steps? So if your cos theta has positive value, then you will find cos inverse, which will be in the first quadrant. So you need 2 answers which should be in the first and the fourth quadrant. Okay. So your first answer will be correct. You will find cos inverse of A, and that will be the correct answer. Now write negative of your first answer. Now why to write negative of your first answer? You have to write negative of your first answer because cos theta or cosine ratio is an even function. Even function means cos of minus theta will be same as cos theta. Such a function is called even function. The previous function sine theta was odd function. Sine of minus theta gives you minus sine theta. Okay. Such a function is called odd function. Right? Okay. So this is even function. Therefore, no problem. Even if you write minus of the first answer, which is positive, no problem. It is okay. Now your first answer is already in the first quadrant. You want one answer in the third quadrant because cos theta is positive in the first quadrant and third quadrant. So first we will find minus theta. But this answer is not correct, not acceptable. Actually, it is correct, but not acceptable. I should not write not correct, not acceptable. Then what you will do? 360 minus theta you will do. So 360 minus theta will be the answer in the fourth quadrant, which will be correct answer. Now if your range allows you larger values, more values like up to 720, you need 2 more answers. So again you have to do the same thing. What you will do, add 360 in both of your previous answer, you will get the next 2 answers which are in your extended domain of values, 720 degrees. Okay. Now why I wrote here plus and minus? Because you can add 360, you can subtract 360. Why to add and subtract 360? Because period of cos theta is 360 degrees or 2 pi in radians. So what is the meaning of period? Period means after every 360 degrees, it will repeat its own path. It will repeat its own values. Okay. So you can add that period, you can subtract that period. Now let us solve the example based on cos theta positive half. We know that half, cos inverse of half or 0.5 is 60 degrees, okay, which is in the first quadrant. So your answer is correct. Okay, first quadrant. Now you can write negative of the first answer, so negative of 60 degrees, though we will not accept it because our range allows you only positive angles. Now your third step will be 360 minus 60 degrees, okay, because in the fourth quadrant we always write 360 minus positive theta, the previous answer. So it will be 300 degrees, which is in the fourth quadrant, and it is correct answer. Okay, this is in the fourth quadrant. Like that you get 2 answers of cos theta. If your range allows you more values like 720 degrees, then you can add 362 in each of your previous answers and you are going to get the next 2 answers. Okay. Now if cos theta has negative value, minus a is less than 0, minus some value, and your range is 0 to 360. Now you will find theta, cos inverse of a, which will be positive answer because cos cannot be negative. Cos is always positive. One of the student was asking me that why for negative value I am not getting negative answer for cos. So remember that cos theta, cos inverse of any value, positive or negative, is never negative. It is always positive. Why like that? Again, because it is even function, so your answer is never going to be negative if you find it from the calculator. Okay, so your answer will be positive, and which will be in the second quadrant. Now negative cos theta, negative values of cos theta is in the second and the third quadrant, so that answer will be correct. Okay, now what you will do, second step, 360 minus theta you will do. So by doing 360 minus the first answer, you are going to get the answer in the third quadrant, which is correct. Okay. Now if your range allows you more larger values, then you can add 360 or you can subtract 360 in each of your previous answers. So let us see this example. Cos theta is minus 0.5. I took the same example so that it is easier for you to understand. So minus half, which is going to give me positive 101 minute. It is going to give me positive 120 degrees. It is never negative. As I told you, I was going to write negative 60, but it is never negative. Cos is always positive. Okay. If you find cos inverse of minus 0.5, your answer is going to be 120 degrees, which is in the second quadrant. So answer is correct. Now your second step is, as I wrote here, 360 minus the first answer. So theta is 360 minus 120 degrees. So if you subtract 360 minus 120, you are going to get 240 degrees, which is in the third quadrant. So both of your answers are correct. Okay. Now if you want more answers, then you apply the third step. Keep adding 360 in each of your previous answer and you are going to get more answers. Okay, but here we don't need it, therefore I am going to erase that. So like this, cos positive and cos negative, how to find the answers? You have seen it. I hope this is clear to you. Now let us see tan theta. Okay. Now tan theta, if it is positive, then we know that tan theta is positive in the first and the third quadrant. Now what are the steps to solve the equation in tan theta? First you will find by your GDC theta is equal to tan inverse of A, which will be positive value, and it will be in the first quadrant. So which is the correct answer. Okay. Now second step of cos is add 180. Why we add 180? Because period of tan theta is 180 degrees. So we add 180 degrees to it and you will get the answer in the third quadrant, which will be correct. If your range of values allows you more larger answers, then you can keep adding 180 degree to each of your previous answer, and that will give you the extra answers. Okay, so let us see here now. Tan theta is 6.5. So theta, your first step will be tan inverse of 6.5. So tan inverse of 6.5, I will find and write it here. Tan inverse of 6.5, it is going to give me 0.114, a three significant figure in degrees. Okay, very small angle it is. So, but it is in the first quadrant, so no problem. It is okay. Your second step tells you, look here, your second step tells you that the next answer is your first answer plus 180 degrees. So, if you add 180 degrees to your first answer, you are going to get 0.114 plus 180. You are going to get 180.114, or you can write 180.1 degree. Okay, which is in the third quadrant. So this is the correct answer again. If your range allows you more larger values, and then you can keep adding 180 in each of your previous answer and you will get the extra values. Okay, the extra answers. Now let us see tan theta if its value is negative. Okay, if its value is negative, then your answer should be in the second and the fourth quadrant. Now when you find tan inverse of negative value, your answer will always be in the fourth quadrant, but your range doesn't allow you negative answers, so this is not in the range, though it is correct answer but not in the range. Now what you are going to do, you will write minus your first answer, which is negative, plus 180. When you find this, it is in the second quadrant, which will be correct answer. Okay, now if you want next answer, what you have to do in your previous answer, means in your second step, add 180 degrees and your answer will be here in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so like this you get answer in the fourth quadrant. Okay, if you want more extra answers, keep adding 180 degrees and you are going to get more answers if your range allows you more values. Now look at this example. If tan theta is minus 2.5, find all values of theta where minus 360 is less than, here I wrote minus 360, but I should have written 0 to 360 because I don't want this range now. That I am going to explain you next time. So 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 360 degrees. I want answer only in positive angles. So tan inverse of minus 2.5. So tan inverse of minus 2.5, let me find it. It is 68.2. Three significant figure, 68.2. Now look here, 68.2. This tan inverse, I did not find the negative answer. I should have found the negative answer. So if I want tan inverse of, I got by mistake, I took positive. That is why my answer was in the first quadrant. So negative 2.5. Now my answer is minus 68 0.2 degrees, which is in the fourth quadrant. Because our range doesn't allow you, so this answer is not acceptable. Now what will be your second answer? Your second answer is minus 68.2 plus 180 degrees. So you will write 180 minus 68.2. Okay, so the answer is 101.8 degrees, which is in the second quadrant. Okay, that is a correct answer. Now if you want one more second answer, because this answer was not accepted, the first one, okay, this was not accepted, we got answer here and we want another answer here. So for another answer in tan, always add 180 degrees, you get the next answer. So 111.8 degrees plus 180 degrees is going to give me plus 180 is going to give me 291.8 degrees, which is in the fourth quadrant. Therefore it is accepted. If your range allows you more larger values, then you have to keep adding 180 degrees in each of your previous answers. So was this difficult? No, it is not difficult. So I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so bye for now. See you next time. Again, I forgot to tell you that this file, which I have explained it to you, this file you will find in my description. Okay, PDF of this file in description, you can get it, or you can approach to me through my email. Okay, my email is also mentioned there, so you can check it there. Okay then, bye.